is an apple, and this is an apple orchard. This is an apple seed. This is an apple, and this is an apple orchard. One day, a grandfather wanted to teach his grandson a lesson of faith in God. So he diced an apple and pulled out a seed. Boy, do you believe that from this one single seed could come thousands of apples? So many apples that one day you will feed an entire town. The boy paused for a minute and said, "Honestly, Grandpa, I don't believe it." "Fine," said the old man. "Well, I'm going to give you a choice." So he pulled out another seed from the same apple. "This is the apple seed's twin, and you have a choice. Either I plant my seed into the ground, or you can plant yours into the ground." "Okay, Grandpa, because you have so much faith, I trust you, and I will plant my seed into the ground." So the little boy went onto his grandpa's farm and went into a big open field, and he planted the apple seed. Sure enough, that seed began to grow, and it grew into an apple tree only a few years later. From this apple tree came 200 apples. And so the boy took each apple and pulled 5 seeds out. And then he took those seeds and planted them to make 1,000 more trees. Years and years went by until eventually the grandson had one of the largest apple orchards in the entire city. And so what did he do? He turned it into his own business. Now, around the same time, his grandpa sadly had to say goodbye. But in his inheritance, he left the grandson not only the whole farm with all the orchards, but also his very own well-read Bible. On the inside cover of this Bible, the grandpa had glued the other apple seed and simply wrote the words Genesis 18 verse 14 beneath. So the grandson decided to turn to this verse. What does it mean, he wondered. These are the words he read. Is anything too hard for the Lord? You see, my dear friend, you don't know how many orchards are in one single apple seed. But you know what I believe? I believe there is someone who is listening to my voice who needs to be asked this exact same question. Is anything too hard for the Lord? You may already know the backstory to this question, but just in case you don't, there was a godly man of faith called Abraham. Abraham was promised again and again by God that from his lineage, all nations from the world would be blessed. And not only this, that God would multiply Abraham's descendants as numerous as the stars are in the sky. But Abraham had a problem. How many children did he have at this point? 0. And it gets worse. He was 100 years old and his wife Sarah was 90. So when 3 divine visitors